Welcome to the Wired for Success podcast, your show for ambitious, mission-driven entrepreneurs who want to build million-dollar businesses without sacrificing their health, relationships, or happiness, who understand that in order to build their empire, they need a solid foundation, and that the more they are thriving, the more their business is thriving too. This show brings you the very best from science, self-development, and entrepreneurship to set you up for sustainable success. Hi, I'm Claudia Gabert, the scientist turned mindset and high performance coach for entrepreneurs, and I help you get wired for success. Hey everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Wired for Success podcast, where we talk about all things science, self-development, and entrepreneurship that help you get to that next level of success in your life and business. My guest today is Niko Hems. He's growth lead at Years, a Berlin-based company that's redefining preventative health. Niko is a data scientist turned longevity expert known for cutting through wellness hype and wellness grifting to bring science and critical thinking back into the conversation. And we certainly need more of that. So welcome, Niko, and thank you so much for being on my show today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Niko, tell us about the moment you realized that the wellness industry was full of hype and a lot of BS. What happened and how did it change your life?
Yeah, definitely. Good question. I think there's plenty of moments in my life where I thought, okay, this is all nonsense. But let me maybe tell you a quick story about this. When I was like 13 or 14 years old, I was feeling completely uncomfortable because I'm quite tall. I'm like close to being 2 meters and I was pretty underweight. So I was only weighing like 70-ish kilos. So I was feeling completely unwell with that. Really wanted to change that. And that's really the starting point of my journey into health and health optimization. So that really got me into fitness, nutrition, all of that. So I read pretty much all of the books out there. Mm-hmm. And back then I already thought, okay, why are so many different health experts, all of them claim to be health experts, saying different things? Like some people claiming, okay, carnivore diet, only eating meat is the way to go. Some people claiming, okay, you must be on a vegan diet, only eat plants, that's the way to go. And so many different opinions out there. Also in terms of training, like some people are saying, or back then have been saying, that strength training is the golden thing to do. You don't need to do any cardio, for example. Yeah, I heard that back then. Today, it's a little bit different, luckily for us. But yeah, that was pretty much the starting point where I realized, okay, so many different opinions, so much confusion. What really is the evidence? What really is the science? So what is real and what is hype? That's pretty much the starting point of my journey.
Yeah, I mean, it's really complicated. And as you said, there are so many opinions out there. But that said, I mean, we are all slightly different, right? So it comes down to genes as well. So for someone, the vegan diet might be perfect. And for somebody else, it might be that just carnivore is perfect. So there might be a little bit of truth to all the opinions out there, for sure.
Well, 100% agree. I think we really need more individualization, not have generalized claims for everyone, which most of the health experts do, but more individualized medicine or nutrition and all of that. Yeah.
And I think we're on the way to getting there. I think in maybe a few, maybe say 10 years or 20 years, I think we might have personalized medicine to a point where everyone knows their genome, has their genome analyzed, and then looks specifically like what works for me, what works for my physiology. That would be really cool to see, honestly.
That would be amazing. I hope you're right.
Yeah, it would be so cool. Now, you went from business school to longevity school. First off, where's that longevity school? It sounds super interesting. What is it all about? Tell me more.
Yeah, definitely. The longevity school is called GCLS, so Geneva College of Longevity Sciences. It's based in Switzerland, but the program I'm doing, which is called Executive Master of Science in Longevity, first of all, it's the first of its kind. There's no master in longevity out there, so they are pretty much pushing this field forward from an educational standpoint, which is great. I love this mission. That's also why I'm part of this. But the whole program is online, and the whole program is mainly for people who work alongside. So it's doable online asynchronously, and also you can do everything like from your home, which is great. But then there are also events. For example, they do, I think every half year they do an event, for example, in Dubai, in Switzerland, or something like that. So that's all amazing. I've been in the program for like the past 2 to 3 months ish, and so far I've been enjoying it. But the program is quite new. I think it's like it was founded like 2 years ago, something like that, maybe. So I'm one of the first people who will go through the whole program. Yeah, that's quite exciting.
It's super cool. It sounds super expensive, though.
Yeah,
To buy it.
it's definitely expensive, especially because it's in Switzerland. But
Yeah.
I work at Years, and we have a collaboration with them, so it's a little bit better.
Oh, let's talk about that after recording. Well, what parallels do you see between building a thriving business and building a healthy life?
Yeah, I mean, I think both things at the same time is pretty much the goal for, or should be the goal for every human, to push both sides forward. For example, I think that's also one of my main problems, and also things which were not really good for my health in general, are just that I always want to do 1 million things at a time. I always see the next opportunity. Back in my bachelor days, I founded different things already and tried out different stuff. Always on the run, never doing any breaks. And there I also saw the impact of that. So through that, I got a bunch of different health problems. Still have some health problems because of that right now, because I pretty much completely, let's say, broke my nervous system. So it's not really good. Way too much stress and no breaks. I always wanted to push forward, which was also the narrative, which is pretty common in business schools, for example. And nowadays I see this quite differently. I see health as an essential pillar of business and leading a company and really being successful in the long term. I think in the short term, everyone can be successful with detrimental health as well. But in the long run, those two things should happen at the same time, like having success in business and having good health. That's super important to me, because I saw the downsides of not focusing on health.
Yeah, I totally agree. Now, you said you're still struggling with nervous system health. What are you doing currently to get back to a good set point?
Yeah, that's quite hard, and that's quite a journey, to be honest with you. During my time abroad in San Francisco, while I was studying at UC Berkeley, which was great, but there pretty much my nervous system shut down completely. So I developed panic attacks and had panic disorder, diagnosed later on. And this really got me more into this field of nervous system, stress management, and all of that. So what I'm doing currently is, for example, yin yoga, which is great. I can recommend it to everyone. I love it. I'm doing this once a week, have been doing this twice a week for some time. Now reduced it a little bit because I'm feeling way, way better. Also doing breath work. I think that's great, to really focus on your breath. Then also slow mornings are super important, and I'm really, really bad at this. Always have been super bad at this. The first thing I'm doing in the morning, or the first thing I have been doing in the morning, was look at my phone, some messages. Okay, what's this? Is something crucial happening over here? Need to take a look at this now and need to solve this now. But most of the time, 99.9% of the time, you don't need to answer like in 1 second. You don't need to do it right now. This can wait, and you can focus more on a slow morning, really being mindful and all of that. And this as well as therapy, which is also super crucial when you have like a real panic disorder, for example, a real problem in your nervous system. This helped me get back on my feet, and I'm almost back at 100%.
That's greght to hear.
Almost.
Yeah, I know, because this really resonates with me, because I struggled with similar symptoms. So I've been through this, and I found, as you said, the breath work is great. I also tried the vagus nerve stimulation, which also was not bad, I'd say. It's really good. And like long zone 2 cardio. That's
Mhm.
also
Yeah,
great for
agree.
stress release. Yeah.
100% agree.
And just being outside in nature is also
Yeah.
always good for mental health and physical health in general. Speaking of mental health, so biohacks aside, and what do you believe is the single most underestimated factor in just building a long, healthy, and fulfilling life?
That's super hard to answer, to be
I,
totally honest with you. But I think nowadays, stress management, having a passion, having a sense of belonging, so everything which could fall under mental health is super crucial. And I think most people don't spend enough time thinking about this topic or even paying attention to it at all. I think it's super important, even in times of social media. We
Mm,
talked about this already. Like attention span is going completely broken with most people nowadays. A lot of people watch reels, short form content, TikToks, YouTube Short, and this is really bad for your mental health. For your attention span, pretty much everything which is going on inside your brain. So I think we really need to get back to our roots, spend more time in nature, spend more time with people we care about, have a community, have friends, spend time with your family as well. So really spend time with real people and don't only spend time online is crucial, in my opinion, at least. And then also just having a passion or just trying to find a passion, try to find something worth living for, try to find a mission which you want to push forward. That's
mm,
crucial. And I think all of this pretty much falls under mental health and super crucial topic nowadays, sadly.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, it's so true. I think with all the short form content and everything, I think we are all becoming dopamine junkies.
pretty much. Yeah,
It's just quick dopamine hits all the time,
yeah,
and we have kind of forgotten how to concentrate and focus. We're just
yeah.
all over the place, and it's really affecting mental health, and that's not a good thing.
Yeah.
Now, you look at longevity from both a business and a science perspective. Are there patterns, as we probably just mentioned, in human behavior that are fundamentally at odds with longevity?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things. I think the main problem, first of all, is that we don't really know yet what longevity even is. We don't have a clear definition of the word longevity. Some people think about longevity and then think, okay, lifespan extension, people wanting to live forever, maybe, or 150 years old or something crazy like that. But at least for me personally, it's more about living a healthy life. So
Yeah.
really rather health span, way more important than lifespan. That's at least for me. So that's the definition I would go for. And then, I mean, there's so much nonsense out there in the longevity world. So many supplements with 100 different ingredients, never have been tested.
Mm,
You don't really know what the effects are. Maybe it's even bad for your health. Maybe there's some liver toxicity involved or something like that. Maybe it's really bad for your health. So all of this, I think, is bad for longevity overall, not just for the word, but if you really want to practice longevity. So if your goal is really to enhance your healthy lifespan, then you must focus on the basics first. So sleep, nutrition, exercise, mental health, stress management, all of that, and not the fancy biohacks, not the fancy supplements, or even the fancy gadgets, red light
mm,
panels, or wearables, for
mhm.
example. I'm
Yeah.
wearing one too, so yeah, I'm bad as well in terms of this. But yeah, just really go back to the basics, and I think this is, I mean, at least as of now, what longevity or healthy aging is about, because we don't yet have any proven intervention which is extending healthy lifespan. So
Mm.
that's what most people need to focus on, and that's not what most people associate with the word longevity.
Yeah, I
Sadly, yeah.
know. The truth is not as sexy.
Yeah,
It's
definitely not as sexy. Yeah, there's no magic pill or silver
no, I
bullet or
know.
something like that.
It's back to basics, and one of the things that I think is just super, super important as impulse control, and I think that's
Oh yeah,
what most people are missing, and that's what impacts so many different areas in their lives just, for the worst.
yeah, that's a good one, definitely.
Yeah. And I mean, it's hard, right? There's just temptation everywhere. You have the supermarket stocked with all the incredible stuff, and you're especially so if you're hungry, for instance, you go to the supermarket and you're not making the best choices, maybe every now and then. So,
yeah, 100% agree with that. Yeah.
Now, I've heard that you're planning to start your own company. Can you share a little more about that, or is it still all a big secret?
It's still all a big secret. I'm still thinking about what I really want to do. For now, I will keep working at years because I really like the vision, and I'm still learning a bunch of stuff. And it's just super interesting to see the longevity world from the perspective of a clinic. So that's short term, at least, what I will continue doing. Long term, I really see myself working in the interconnection of physiology and psychology, because I think this is a field which has tremendous potential. And I mean, at least as of now, first of all, not a lot of people talk about it, even the psychology aspects of things. But then also there's interesting research pointing, for example, that even for psychiatric conditions, metabolic psychiatry, so really nutrition, could help with certain diseases there. And I think there's just so much potential and so much knowledge out there, which we really just need to push forward. And I think maybe there will be a great way for a company to rise in this field, because, as I said, I see great potential in the interconnection of physiology and then psychology, because body and mind are definitely connected.
That's amazing. That's exactly my sweet spot. So we should
Nice.
talk. We should talk. We should build something amazing.
Definitely.
Now, how does your understanding of longevity influence the way that you're designing the business for scale and sustainability?
Yeah, I think, as I mentioned already, with my experiences so far, and with the experience, for example, I had in Berkeley, I'm really seeing health at the forefront of a sustainable business, especially for me, as I've had a lot of negative experiences when a person, me for example, is only pushing all the time, not taking breaks. So that's really what I believe also for my business in the future is key, to really have the key persons, for example, the founders, so in this case me, have them as healthy as possible, because then, only then, you will be able to work your best, take the best decisions you can possibly take, and not if you're sleep deprived, for example, slept 4 hours and then you're supposed to do a huge decision. That's probably not a good way of doing things. And so really see health at the forefront of a sustainable, of a long-term successful company, health of the founders. That's super crucial for me.
Everyone, like the entire team, everyone should be healthy to
Yeah,
do the work.
definitely 100%. That's what I would focus on. So really build a company culture which puts health first. That should be the goal for pretty much every company. Also, in terms of ROI, we return on invest. I think the return on invest is great if you spend more time, more resources in your company to have your employees, or even your C-suite, your founders be more healthy. That's a great ROI in my opinion, at least. And there's also some data showing that.
Yeah, I agree. How can health entrepreneurs, especially, avoid falling into that trap of wellness grifting while still creating a profitable and ethical health solution?
That's super hard, to be totally honest with you. I think also that's super hard because we as humans have so much bias inside us. There's, for example, cognitive bias, there's authority bias, there's just a bunch of bias out there we are exposed to all of the time, and that's pretty much programmed into our minds. There's a lot of evidence for that we as humans just have tons of bias. So really to be neutral, to step outside of this bias and to really look on a field from different perspectives, always fact checking, always thinking critically is also extremely important. For example, what I'm doing a lot, and I think this is a good way of doing things, but also some downsides, is when I'm thinking about a topic and I'm having a pretty strong opinion about it, I'm just straight up challenging myself. For example, I go to a big LLM thinking model and type in, okay, from a neutral perspective, what is the evidence or what does the science say about XYZ? For example, let's take some sort of diet, Mediterranean diet, which has great evidence, for example. And then I'm challenging myself on this topic, and then I'm pretty much having conversations with this big LLM, large language model, for example, ChatGPT, and just trying to see whether my thinking is correct. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there's evidence just showing that I'm not correct. And that's, I think, really the way how people should think about things in terms of health and wellness. Really always fact check yourself, which is crucial. Then also think critically and just try to broaden your horizon, not only stay in your niche all of the time. Because when you, for example, again, nutrition, when you, for example, stay in carnivore forums, most of the people will say, okay, this is the best thing you can do for your body, obviously, because they are also doing this. So this is just pretty much bias. And maybe you want to go outside of this and then want to talk to other people eating different diets, for example, just get their opinions on it. Read some research as well, which is pointing maybe into a different direction. So that's at least what I believe people should do. Sadly, most of them don't do it.
Yeah, we shouldn't believe everything we think.
Yeah, definitely. That's true, yeah.
And we should always, I mean, as you said, try to play devil's advocate is so crucial, because it helps you step out of that bubble and helps you see the other side, and maybe you will surprise yourself.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
Who knows? Now, if you could expose just one wellness myth that almost everyone believes, what would it be and why does it persist?
I think it's pretty much broken down to the fact that there are interventions out there which really extend human health span or human lifespan even. There's nothing out there or like no evidence out there supporting this fact. It always comes down, for now at least, to the basics. There's no magic pill. There's no silver bullet out there. For example, there are a lot of mice studies supporting stuff like off-label use of metformin, rapamycin, something like that. But first of all, we are not mice. that's I mean the fact, at least. Then also the conditions the mice live in, they're sterile, they're not exposed to a lot of different stuff. That's just completely different in humans. Also, we humans, we work differently, we're comparable to mice, and that's why a lot of research is done in mice, but still most of the research in mice does not translate to humans. So as of now, there really isn't anything proven to extend lifespan. Even supplements is also a big thing in wellness, and people believe in it, but most of the supplements don't have any evidence behind them. There are a few which have some evidence behind them, but most of them do not. So that's pretty much the myth, I guess, in a broad sense, that people believe that there's something out there, a magic pill, silver bullet, or something like that.
The Holy Grail, the fountain of youth. We haven't found
pretty
it
much.
We haven't found it yet, guys.
Not yet. Who knows?
Who knows? Maybe a related question. What's the most absurd or maybe dangerous wellness trend that you have seen being monetized?
I think it depends. But what I believe is super dangerous is injectables when they are unregulated. For example, peptides or even IV therapies. I have two stories, for example, to back this up. I think like a couple of months ago at a festival, there were two people injecting who got peptides injected into them. So short chain of amino acids, pretty much. Those are peptides. GLP-1. So this is, for example, a common peptide. I think a lot of people heard about it nowadays, Ozempic, for example. But yeah, they got peptides injected, which were not controlled, which were not regulated, and they almost died because of it, just because it's not regulated as of now. Then also IV therapy. For example, there was a woman, heard the story on social media, so obviously anecdotal data, but just to prove this point. She was getting, I think, a B vitamin IV drip in an IV drip spa, and this spa was not regulated. This was pretty much a fraud scheme, and so the quality of the IV drips was not good at all. And in the end, what happened was she got infected. She got an antibiotic resistant bacterial infection. So she's still struggling years after it with the infection because it's always flaring up. She had to undergo a lot of operations and all of this stuff. So I think the part that injectables, in the sense of them being unregulated, is extremely dangerous. So if you want to get peptides or IV drips, which I mean, evidence doesn't support that yet, maybe in the future, but who knows? I wouldn't recommend it, at least to most people. If you want to get it, just really make sure that there's a high quality of the things you're putting yourself into. So pharmaceutical grade is important. Yeah, just make sure that this is the case, at least.
So important.
Yeah.
But it's really hard. How do you separate signal from noise in a market saturated with supplements and biohacks and Instagram gurus?
Yeah, it's extremely hard to do that. To be totally honest with you, there's so many people out there, and they are great at telling stories. They are great at convincing you that something they are saying is truth, or has truth, or is true in general. And they will always also point to some studies. For example, there are a lot of people like the carnivore, the Paul Saladino, for example. He always points to studies when he's saying stuff. And there are some small studies which are backing up his claims. But if you look at the overall body of evidence for the topics he's talking about, for example, LDL cholesterol, so bad cholesterol, then it's just not proving his point. So again, here, just make sure to fact check every claim you're seeing. Just make sure to look at the complete picture, to look at all of the evidence out there, not only the cherry-picked studies, which sadly most influencers try to push forward. Just really make sure to fact check everything you see nowadays, because so many people are super good at convincing you that what they are saying is the truth.
That's tough. Now,
it
finally,
is.
It's really hard for everyone. I mean, and now with all the AI content out there as well, it's really hard.
Yeah, it's even harder now. Yeah,
even harder. So finally, if you could give us just one piece of unconventional advice for our audience that challenges this traditional work hard, burn out entrepreneurial narrative, what would it be?
I think, at least for me personally, so again, anecdotal data, but I think this proves the point pretty good. When I am most productive, which I'm right now, I'm in good health. Like right now, I'm like 95% in good health. Still haven't recovered completely, even if it's like 11 months ago. So that's crazy, by the way. 11 months of not being 100%. They are not being 100% productive all of the time. So that's just crucial for founders. Just make sure that you're staying healthy all of the time in order to be productive long term. Because if you're not healthy, which I wasn't, you cannot be really productive and you cannot really be there for your company. Like in the moment, most people think, okay, this is sustainable. I mean, as of right now, I'm feeling good. Okay, I'm stressed all of the time. Maybe I'm not sleeping great. Maybe I'm eating bullshit. Maybe I'm, I don't know, eating junk food all of the time, not doing any sports, but still I feel okay. This may be the case as of right now, but who knows what will happen 1 week or 1 month. You may be having a burnout, or you may be developing a panic disorder like me, for example, having your nervous system breakdown. You never know. And to really make sure that you're preventing this from happening, this is crucial for your company. Because just think about it. If you cannot be there 100% for your company because of any health issue for months, not for weeks, but for a lot of months, that would be detrimental for your company. And I'm pretty sure that most of you would not want this to happen. So that's key. Always look out for your health. Make sure to sleep well, eat well, do at least a little bit of sports. For example, you can walk when you have meetings. That's also good. Just move your body, be in nature. So that's super important for your company as well.
Yeah, makes total sense.
Yeah, I'm speaking from experience.
I know.
Yeah.
So last but not least, where can our listeners find you online if they would like to learn more about you or connect with you?
Yeah, definitely. You can definitely find me on LinkedIn. I'm posting quite a lot of times there per week, like 3 to 4 times a week. Some fact checking, some system thinking about the health industry in general, all of that on LinkedIn, Niko Hems. And then also you can check out my personal website, nikohems.de, where you can find more information on upcoming projects. There's some stuff upcoming. So yeah, stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Interesting. Awesome. Niko, thank you so much for talking and for sharing your insights with all of us today. I really enjoyed talking with you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Keep up the great work. Take care and talk soon. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to the Wired for Success podcast. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you did, please take a sec to rate and review my show or share it with a friend. That way you can support the show and help me reach and support other entrepreneurs like yourself as well. If you would like my help to figure out how you can go from overwhelmed and overworked hustler to empowered and confident leader, check out my website at www.wiredforsuccess.solutions and book a free 20-minute strategy session with me. Can't wait to help you get wired for success. Until next time, take care. Bye.